In case you haven't noticed, 2024 marks the 40th anniversary of the Transformers, and while we still have bangers like Commander Class Optimus Prime to look forward to, if you were to ask me what's been my favourite thing to come out of this year, it would be a tie between Transformers 1 and Blokees. I adore these things, and might have gone a little bit overboard since starting to buy them at TFNation this year. Blokees have several lines in different scales and price points, but the main line which I've been collecting is the Galaxy Wave, which up until now has been completely G1 focused. That's all changed, however, with Wave 5, as it's bucked the trend and expectations to give us a wave dedicated to Transformers 1. This makes David, that is to say me, very happy, and thanks to our good friends at Blokees, they've sent TFNation a set to show off. So thank you so much to Blokees for this, and be sure to go check out in the description of this video all of their social links, including where you can go ahead and buy them. Now, each case contains 9 minifigures that you need to assemble yourself, and while you can buy the figures individually, they do come in a sealed box, so the only way to make sure that you are getting the figure that you want is to buy the whole case, I guess. Now, when you open a Blokees box, you will find the instruction sheet on how to assemble the figures. As always, the instructions are vibrant and clear, making any mistakes in the building process entirely your own. Then you'll come across 2 traditional bags that you've gotten in all the previous Galaxy Waves, but there is a surprise this time around. You see, the joint sprue, which in previous waves would have allowed you to assemble the knee and elbow joints, is missing. You'll now find these joints are actually included in the robot parts bag already assembled, and for me, this is an absolute ideal game changer. Previously, after assembling a whole wave of figures, my thumbs would be screaming in pain, so this is a complete win. It also means that if you know what you're doing, you can probably assemble one of these things in, say, 60 seconds. Actually, there's a thought. Blokees speedrun coming TFN 2025. So after some brief assembling, here they all are in glory, and right off the bat, I am loving how well Blokees have been able to translate the designs of the movies into their signature style. If you're looking for accurate representations of the movie characters as they appeared on the screen, you're not going to get them here. But the charm of these characters, as well as the attention to detail, allows them to still capture the essence of the characters. What I appreciate about this wave, however, is that Blokees have not tried to be screen accurate, and that means that this wave won't look out of place on a shelf with the rest of your collection. So the figures themselves are pretty universal, really. Heads, hands, legs and feet are all on ball joints. You've got a swivel at the waist, knees and elbows are on the aforementioned joints. That means each figure you get has a good range of motion, and because of their large feet, you've not really any concerns about balance. But for some of those trickier poses, however, you might run into a little bit of trouble, but don't worry about it because each figure comes with a stand as well as interchangeable hands and weapons. So let's run through some of the figures in this wave. We'll start with Hound and Ironhide because, well, they're basically exactly the same figure, save for decos and a helmet change. However, I don't see any real negative here with this because given their roles in the movie and the fact that they're being depicted in their cogless form, the fact that they share such similarity doesn't bother me in the slightest. Next up we've got Wheeljack, and I have to admit, I love this guy. The white on him is gleaming, and the paint apps on him just make him pop. He retains his classic Wheeljack head too, as well as more rounded shape in his chest and arms, giving him a thinner yet taller feel to his cogless counterparts. Bumblebee, or B-127, at first might seem like he doesn't have a great deal going on, but look a bit closer and you'll see he's got some unique feet, and that black paint highlights help to break up all of that yellow. But it's that rounded face that he has that just draws you in and really fills the figure with such a cheerfulness and positivity, which look at him, look how happy he is. Next up, we've got Death Tracker, and man, I am loving this guy. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but the paint job they've given him is just wonderful. It's this dark purple, which when mixed with the black parts of the mold, allows the figure to almost change colour depending on how you're looking at him. His backpack does have a swivel joint for the wings that allows you to move them forwards and backwards, and thanks to that backpack, it gives him just such a much more beefier and intimidating look. Sentinel is simply stunning to look at, with those gold highlights breaking up that majestic royal blue. He's definitely the meatiest figure of the set, coming with both his double-sided sword and giant wings. And what's nice about those wings is that they are actually connected to his back by a double-sided ball joint, meaning that you can get an incredible range of articulation out of them. Next, we've got D16 in his cog form. Now, this is one figure where I'm like, I've got a minor nitpick here. You see, because this whole wave shares exactly the same forearm, it means that the port for his fusion cannon is on the underside of his arm. Now, really all that means is that you just need to swivel his elbow and swivel his hand, but that does break up the aesthetic of the figure. And what's weird about this is that this is such an odd choice, because prior to this wave, every other figure had a port on the outer side of their arm, and I'm not sure why they've made the change this time around, but there you go. However, it is a minor issue aside, and everything else on this toy is incredible. The fact that they also include what could be the smallest Decepticon logo ever on his left shoulder is such a wonderful attention to detail, and something that could have easily been neglected. And then finally we have Orion Pax and Optimus Prime. These two really just sing. I haven't been the biggest fan of the design from the movie for Optimus or Orion, but in this style it really does work for me. Also, it's worth noting that Optimus comes loaded with some accessories. Not only does he come with the same blaster as Death Trooper, but he also comes with his Energon axe. Interesting to note, however, is that this Energon axe is a brand new mold and not the same one that came with the previous waves. Now, Optimus is the chase in this wave too, so I've got the basic, most common version here, but I am so very keen to get my hands on that metallic version too. Some running changes in the design process is great, and the inclusion of the cogless characters is a wonderful choice here. And I'm hoping that we can get more characters to fill out the line. Now, I know that Alita and Sentinel are coming in the Classics line, which I'll be absolutely sure to pick up. So yeah, it's another incredible slam dunk from Blokees. Once again, I want to thank them for sending these over to us, and be sure to check out their socials and their links below. Thank you to everyone for watching. I know this has been a little change of pace for us, but I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see many of you in November in Reading at TFNation Minicon, where we will be talking at length for a long time about Blokees. Thanks all very much, bye for now, and take care of yourselves.